Hey everybody, how are you? This is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. We've got about an hour before the market closes, and what a day! What a day! So I'm going to do something a little different today and kind of shake it up. I'm going to get in the trading room here. I'm going to ask a few people for some trade ideas, and we're going to cover those, whether they're long or short. We'll see what everyone puts out there. We'll do 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. And then I'll talk about the market while we're in there a little bit, okay? Hey, look, if you're interested in subscribing and being part of our YouTube channel, just hit that subscribe button over there. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn, so we have a group. We have a candlestick group, Hit and Run Candlesticks group. If you're interested, you can check that out. But let's get over here to the trading room real quick, and let's talk about a couple charts and maybe some setups for next week. Friday, tomorrow's Friday, so generally a little cash. This week, guaranteed, I will be in cash. So anyway, let me head over to the room, and then we'll pick it up from there, and we'll talk about some charts, okay? Hey, everyone. Let's talk about the market a little bit, and then maybe you guys have a couple of trades you want to throw out there. Let's take a look at. Just so you know, I'm actually doing my YouTube video right now. I'm gonna put this on for our watch list that we're looking at, so please feel free to throw some trades out there, and I'll just take the first few, something like that, and we'll talk about those, okay? First, let's talk about the market just a tad here. The SPY is below the 50-period moving average, and in general, if we are below the 50-period moving average, I'm going to be bearish. Now, we can get far enough below the 50. How about we take a look at the Qs? We can get far enough below the 50-period moving average, and then we might start looking for a relief rally. And the Qs, they might be getting close, okay? Maybe close. I would have sure liked the Qs to come down closer to this 297.40. And they still might. They still might. We really can't look for a relief rally until we see that buy signal in there. Some kind of bullish, something like that. That would be nice, wouldn't it? There we go. That's better. Little hammer here. And then we can maybe look for that little relief rally as we move up. As we move up, then we'll start looking for selling signals to give us clues that we're going to come back down here. So, and if I'm looking to be long, anything outside of a little short-term relief rally, I'm going to have to see price. Here we go. I'm going to have to see price get all the way past that line right here, and then pull back, and then we'll look for those little green buying clues in here. But anything below that line right there, I'm only going to look at short-term relief rally in here. Overall, I'm bearish on this market. No questions about it. Take a look at IWM. We're right at the 50. We start seeing a little weakness. I'm going to be bearish there. I'm actually bearish on this now. To get back bullish, I think we're going to have to get past, well, definitely above today, and really probably above this 222 area. Diamonds are closing awfully close, or maybe below that 50-period moving average. And then, we always want to be watching price action. How can anybody be excited about that price action? That just looks horrible to me. So to be bullish, I think we're going to have to see this pretty much get above those highs here. So rally back up, pull back and test, and then maybe we see a few little green buying bars in there that gives us that reason to be buying in there. Okay. Microsoft. Let's talk about that. Went short Microsoft today, thanks to somebody in the room, SV, I believe, one of the members, SV, posted they bought this, bought puts on this. I went and looked at it. It looked pretty darn good, so I thought, hey, let's do this. So far, it's working out pretty good. We are right now at what could be some sort of support, but as I look at it here, really all I see are these little highs in here like that. And I would think, let's change the color here. I'm going to try to do this. Here, let me do it. I'll do it in two pieces right here. There we go. That's better. I would think that these highs right here won't make too much of a difference, just because they shot up and they went nowhere. But right in this area, right through here, through there, a little more support. So I would think we're going to get a little further down there. We may see a little relief rally up, but that's kind of what I'm looking for right now on Microsoft. So, all right, let me see here. Anybody have any of these charts we want to take a look at? Mel, if you to keep a watch on for puts. Yeah, definitely one for the watch list, but I would think that after 2 big days down, we need to see that relief rally up here. So right now, just to help me get my head around the chart, I'm just going to draw a trend line right across the Trendicator here, just like that. And then if we start to see a relief rally up, that might be a nice trade for, like I said, just a relief rally, and then we'll take a look at a pullback here to the downside for more of a short there. Let's see. I'll do one more there for you. ICLR. Yeah, see, ICLR is just too stretched out. See how it's away from, too far from the Trendicator up here. Also, maybe you meant this long. I don't know. Also, we've got 2 dojis here with, it's not quite a tweezer bottom, not exact, but it's pretty darn close. I would think this thing might be trying to put together some sort of a relief rally already. So for a put, I think you wrote a put in there. There's no question this thing is going to have to rally back up before we get a move to the downside. Either way, I certainly wouldn't be chasing that right here. That's way, way too far down there without a relief rally on that. I see Mark is throwing out KR. I think that's a nice looking chart. Kroger, if you're looking for something long, something in the defensive sector, Kroger might be one to take a peek at. Here we have actually, let's move this out of the way. Actually, what we have here is a scoop pattern. So here's a handle right there, and then here is the scoop right there. And where that doji is, that's just about where the handle is. So if we can see some more strength to the upside, pull back and test a little bit, watch for those green bars. And by the way, the test can be just sideways too. Watch for those green bars. That might be a darn good trade. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Now, what if this, here, let me put this line right here. There we go. So what if it doesn't break out tomorrow? Or what if it doesn't break out Monday? That's okay. That's all right. If this chooses to maybe relax tomorrow, something like that, and if it comes back, that's good enough. But regardless, I think that's what we're looking for, is probably above this 34, 35 area, right at these highs. Move above, test, and then watch those bulls. That's actually a very nice chart. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Casper, you missed. I'll come back on that. Well, here, let's look at that again. I'm not actually sure not sure I actually said very much on the SPY. So the SPY right now is in a downtrend. We can draw a line across those tops just like that, and that's clearly in a downtrend. Now, something I do an awful lot. Let me dim these candles down just a little. There we go. Something I do an awful lot is I use the Trendicator a great deal in my trading. So if I look at the Trendicator here, we clearly have a trend. Let's make that bigger. There we go. We clearly have a trend. And if I look at the current Trendicator dots, we clearly have a trend to the downside. So what I will do an awful lot is not even worry about that one. That's the one I'm going to follow. Price will take care of itself. I just need price to get through these blockades. And this is a blockade. I mean, this is a wall. We need to get through that wall. Just like the 50-period moving average, we love the blue ice failure. But until we get below that wall, you got nothing. You don't have a blue ice failure. So I'm just waiting for it to get back up over that line to be bullish. Anything under the 50, I'm going to remain to the bearish side. If we start to bounce up, which I would not be surprised if there's some sort of relief rally. How far up it goes, now that I don't know. That I can't even begin to tell you. But that relief rally, that might give a good opportunity to more shorting. The relief rallies, there can be a lot of money being made there, but as the higher we get, we have to be careful. Well, we should have painted that green. The higher we get, we have to be careful that we don't get that bullishitis disease, thinking that everything in the world is bullish and to the moon, Sally, kind of a thing. What we want to do is be very cautious as we start approaching this resistance area, because I don't care how much this rallies, until it gets through that line right there, that's a bearish chart, period. That's a relief rally, but this is a bearish chart. So if we want to be bullish, it's okay for a short period of time. And then as we break through, what we need to see is that breakthrough and then that pullback and test. And then about there would probably put us over the tops of those candles right in there. So hope that helped, Casper. Thanks. Adam there, waiting to buy some AMC. Let's see. Not too bad. Not too bad. The Reddit people's going to hate me. But if Reddit's involved, I'm staying away from it. Just simple as that, just so you know. And Reddit is involved with AMC, so want nothing to do with it. Outside of that, not a bad-looking chart. Here, let me darken this back up. Let's darken this back up just a little. There we go. We can put a trend line on it. And not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. We're right back down to that trend. And let's go ahead and draw one right there. So I think the big thing now is, are we a buyer inside this area, or are we a buyer on the breakout? And that's what we have to ask as a trader. What kind of trader are we? It's definitely setting up nice ascending symmetrical triangle here. Looking pretty good. Nice trend. Looks excellent, Adam. It's just that if Reddit's in the house, I'm leaving, so can't do that. Let's see here. SV. Yeah, I am still holding SLV, and I'm pretty much married to this thing, and I'll hold it even a bit longer here. Yeah, I'm gonna hold a bit longer, but yeah, I'm still there. Let's see. Coke for a short. You know, maybe, but I think we're going to need to see some weakness here. We've got what could be big old resistance here, and then we've got resistance here, and it looks like resistance right there, making that head and shoulders. The thing about Coke, it, you know, I think we just want to make sure there's selling here. That's what I would do. Let's draw a line from this low to this low, and let's just let the rest of it go where it will, right in here. So shorting Coke right now is really going to have to get below that line. Of course, I mean, it could be shorted. If you shorted it right now and say it started to bounce here and then came back up, what are you looking at? 2.25% risk. So I'm not sure that's a short. I'm really not. And definitely not long right now. One for the list, maybe. One for the list. Let's see. Dick. Sorry, Mel, I skipped over you because I have no idea what you're speaking of there without a ticker symbol, okay? IBM. What was that? Would you say that IBM is just in a trading range or that it has more downside? Based on this chart pattern right there, more downside. Is it in a trading range? Yes. But this chart pattern right there kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. So here's the thing. You're underneath the 50, so we're already looking at a blue ice failure here. The chart is in a downstream, yeah, it's downstream. So that's not good. It is trading in a trading range here, and you can see that if it starts to break out, that would just, I think that would change the whole attitude of IBM, and I would certainly like that to the long side. But as I look at this chart pattern here, there's a candlestick pattern called a falling method, and I'm going to draw the pattern out more like you'd find in a book, and I'm going to make the center blue, just neutral. I don't really care whether they're red or green bars, but it's called a falling 3 method, and it looks like that right here. Looks just like that. And take a look at this. Look what we have. Down, up, 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 down, right there. So, anyway, I'm seeing that chart pattern right in here. And if this starts to break down below this low, that would be a short. That would be a definite short. On the other hand, if it does start to come back up and it breaks out pretty much the 50-period moving average, then that might be a long. While it's inside this area, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, to be honest with you. GE, and then what time is it? GE. Yeah, GE pulling back. We might have to keep an eye on that one. That is still trending up. That is still trending up here. So let's watch for GE pulling back a little bit, and that might give us a nice opportunity here. Thank you, Sean. Good idea on that one for an opportunity. I want to see that setup again. And you know, a good setup, here, let's look through here. One good setup, see how we're up right here? See how we're up right here? See how this pulled back? That's kind of what we want to see right here. Same kind of chart pattern. I'm going to use something different now, a little easier to draw with. See how we're up here? And that pattern right in here, that's what we're looking for, that pullback and buy. So I'd watch for that pullback, and it might want to even pull back closer to the trend there. just a tad closer to that trend. So, oh, let's see here. We'll do KMI. KMI might be setting up. One simple line is all we need right there. One simple line. I would say that's a buy above that line, or we could even go horizontally, a buy above 1585, 89, 90 here. That's a buy. If someone's already in this, then it's just simple of keep that stop in there. Let it work as long as it works above the stop. And let's see, Mel, a little bit of Saber. Whoops. Saber, you're still long that. That's a nice chart, Mel. See how that's rallied up? And you see that consolidation? That's a very nice chart. Thanks for posting that. So if we're putting a buy box on that, there's the buy box right there, just like that. Buy inside. Could have been bought today if you like buying on markets that are like today, which I wouldn't, or buying on down days, which this is, and I don't like that. But yesterday could have been a buy, and then let's see what happens in here, and maybe even that breakout. So very nice, Mel. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Malcolm, let's see. Dick thinks, is that a falling? Yes, on that IBM, that's a falling 3 method. Falling three method is what it's called. And then we'll stop with Apple. So Apple, yeah, Apple is still seeing a bad day here, just not good. Apple is on my watch list to buy. I'm gonna back the truck up, I think, on Apple when the time is right. And I don't think the time is right now. We're still trending to the downtrend. And again, I use the Trendicator an awful lot. And the Trendicator is still green. And the Trendicator is still red. And there's a possibility when it starts to turn, I dabble in it, but I'm not going to say back that truck up until that turns green. So I'm going to have to see price up a bit higher here. But right now, nothing doing. Apple's just hurting the market at the moment here. So, all right, I'm going to turn this off and get this thing rendered and out there on YouTube. Okay, guys? Thank you very much. I do appreciate your help for doing this.